Hello everyone, welcome to SwitchUp as we once again have a look at some of the games coming out for the Switch and the Switch 2 in this upcoming week. In terms of dates, we're going from the 17th of January up until the 23rd to see if there's anything coming that's worth your time and money. So which games are coming out? Well, let's find out. Let's start with a couple of games that are already out and crept out over the last few weeks. The first of those is Tombi Special Edition. Tombi, or Tomba as it's known in some regions, is a 2.5D platformer that released in 1997. And this special edition brings quality of life improvements, including being able to save at any time, a rewind feature, a museum which has a number of different documents and scans of original packaging, advertisements, artwork, etc., a remastered soundtrack, and an interview with the creator, Takeru Fujiwara. It says you'll explore ancient relics, discover fascinating characters, unlock thrilling quests, and unearth hidden treasures in a platformer that fuses linear and non-linear gameplay styles. $15.99 for that one. As I said, it's already out and it is a Switch 2 release if I didn't say that already. Another game that's already out, releasing just before Christmas I believe, is the Bee Hive. This is a 3D platformer inspired by the games of old, specifically I believe the N64 era, with that heavy emphasis on collecting, that sort of thing. And with the protagonist being a bee, I have to say that immediately my mind was drawn back to Buck Bumble. I don't know if any of you played that game on the N64, had a fantastic intro song I seem to remember. This one features 16 levels across a number of different biomes. You unlock bee powers such as sting, shield, climb, a zipline and swim, and there are gadgets and weapons for you to find, build and use. It has a fully voiced cast and you'll be collecting gems and gear, gadgets and all sorts, and it was created by a solo developer, spent 9 years putting this one together, so a real labour of love. £9.99 or your regional equivalent if you are interested in this one, and as I said, it's the final game we're mentioning that's already out. Moving on to the games releasing this week then, and the first of those is MIO, Memories in Orbit. This is a Switch 1 and 2 release, releasing for the same price. We'll get to that in a moment. But it says you'll awaken Mio, so it's Mio, sorry, not MIO, a nimble robot with extraordinary abilities, and you'll unravel the mysteries of the vessel, an enormous technological ark overgrown with lush vegetation and machines gone rogue. You'll need to explore a captivating universe full of wonder and artistic curiosities, according to the blurb, interacting with the vessel's environments to learn more about its past. You'll earn game-changing abilities to help Mio progress through this twisted and interconnected place. You'll climb walls like a spider or float through the air with your glide power, for example, and you'll face off against a diverse array of over 30 enemy types and 15 formidable guardian bosses. £16.99 for this one, as I said, across both platforms, the Switch 1 or 2, but you can get 10% off of that price up until launch day, which is the 20th of January. Also releasing this week, we have the Rumblefish 2, the Switch 2 edition. So Rumblefish 2 is already out on the Switch 1 and you can upgrade to this Switch 2 edition for a small fee. We'll go over the prices in a moment. But this is a fighting game that was developed by Dimps and released back in 2005. You'll use two different gauges, one for offensive moves and one for defensive moves. And this version contains features such as an online versus mode, a first for the series, which uses rollback netcode. There are a number of different game modes, including arcade, survival, time attack, local multiplayer and online multiplayer, as well as a gallery being included too. This will sell for £17.99 for this Switch 2 edition. You can upgrade, as I mentioned, for around about £4.49. I think there may be a small discount available off of that too. I couldn't find regional equivalents for the full price, just for upgrade prices, I'm afraid. So I've put those at the bottom of the screen instead, but be aware, obviously, if you don't own the game, that's not the price you'll be paying. You'll have to pay the full price, of course. This one releases on the 22nd of Jan. Another game that's out on the 22nd of January is Dynasty Warriors Origins. This is a Switch 2 release, and we have actually reviewed this game already. I'll put a card to that review in the top right-hand corner. Very much enjoyed my time with this one, I must say. It's a reboot of sorts for the Dynasty Warriors series, focusing specifically on the first half of the Romance of the Three Kingdoms novel, which means it can do a bit more of a deep dive into some of the events, but it does it from the point of view of a new protagonist, with the historical figures that you'd expect from this series being your allies or enemies, as opposed to being playable characters, for the most part at least. It's got a nice blend of hack and slash and strategy, and does aim for 60 frames per second, which is good to see. As I said, do check out our full review if you want all of the details, but this one will sell for £54.99 or your regional equivalent. Next, a highly anticipated one, I'm sure, we have Final Fantasy VII Remake INTERGRADE, which retells the original story up to the escape from Midgar. There are a couple of different versions listed on the eShop. You have like limited early purchase editions and deluxe editions and what have you. I'll try to find the base price and put that on the bottom of the screen. I think it's always fair to go with that as a happy medium of what most people will be looking to buy. But do check out the eShop if you want more information of what's available. As I just said, it obviously expands on the original story of Final Fantasy VII and has turned it into a multi-game experience now. I think there is a demo available for this on the Switch, so it's a Switch 2 release, of course. If you want to give it a try first, if you never played it back in the day, or you just want to see how this remake plays compared to that original. But yeah, this one is also out on the 22nd.
So, can't say this is quite what I had in mind when I put that on you way back when.
He's my bodyguard. And a soldier. Pretty cool, huh?
For the right price.
One date ought to do.
Also this week we have They Are Billions, which is a steampunk strategy game set on a post-apocalyptic planet. It says you'll build and defend colonies to survive against the billions of infected that seek to annihilate the few remaining living humans. Can humanity survive after the zombie apocalypse? It's real-time strategy with pools and thousands of units on screen, it says here. There are 48 missions, more than 60 hours of gameplay according to the blurb. You can evolve your colony with more than 90 available technologies. There are weekly challenges and leaderboards, and being a Switch 2 release, it does have mouse support, which is good to see. £26.99 for this one, or your regional equivalent, and this one releases on the 22nd. The penultimate game for the week is Citadelum, which is a city building game set in ancient Rome. It says that you'll build your settlement, gather and refine resources from forests and quarries, breed animals, grow vegetables, fish and make wine, so you can keep your population healthy and fed. You need to improve your buildings and ensure water supply with aqueducts, and welcome citizens to your village as artisans, farmers, carpenters, or train them to join your legions in different units. You'll explore the world map, free villages under siege, and experience the power of the most advanced armies of the era, the Legion. This is a Switch 2 release and it's going to cost £24.99, and once again it releases on the 22nd. And finally then we have a Switch 1 release in Escape from Ever After. This, according to the blurb, is an RPG where fairy tale and storybook characters fight back against capitalism. It says when Flint Buckler, a classic fairy tale adventurer, storms the castle of his evil dragon arch nemesis, he finds the once intimidating fortress has been converted into corporate offices. The villainous dragon is nowhere to be found, and her castle is full of mindless coffee-sipping, report-filing drones. It turns out that storybooks are an untapped market ripe with valuable resources, cheap labour and profit to be had, so naturally real-world conglomerate Ever After Inc. found a way to intervene. It says you'll face off against hordes of wacky enemies in snappy turn-based gameplay with a fast-paced battle system that rewards experimentation. You can build and customise your party, with every character having unique skills, and engage in office banter, helping your storybook co-workers and decorate your office as you climb the corporate ladder. It's definitely got a look of Paper Mario about it, with a heavy dose of satire by the sounds of it. £20.99 for this one, and this one releases on the 23rd.
Your ink is expanding into storybooks of all genres. Our shareholders back in the real world have never been happier. By the way, I hear there's a group of rogue employees that are trying to sell.
So there we have it, another week of Nintendo Switch and Switch 2 releases. Do let me know if you're going to pick any of these games up. Stick it all in the comment section below. Don't forget, if you're looking for eShop credit to do just that, you can use our website switchup.gg to get your eShop cards, and you'll get yourself 5% of your purchase price back as cashback. And there's links down there to PlayAsia if you're looking to import any games. Using our link and code will save you a bit of money from your order. Thank you to our patrons and our channel members for your continued support, and to each and every one of you for watching our videos. Take care, and until next time, happy gaming.